Hello friends, have you ever noticed how your four-legged pet tilts their head when you talk to them? This cute gesture makes us smile and feel tender, but have you ever wondered what's actually happening in that doggy brain at that moment? What lies behind this charming head tilt? Today we'll dive into the fascinating world of canine behavior and reveal the mystery hidden behind this adorable gesture. If you're interested in learning more about our four-legged friends, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. There are many more amazing discoveries ahead about those we consider humanity's best friends. Let's start with the fact that dogs are incredibly social creatures. Over thousands of years of evolution alongside humans, they've developed a unique ability to understand us, read our emotions, and respond to them. Head tilting is one example of such adaptation to life with people. But what exactly happens when a dog tilts their head to the side? The first and perhaps most important reason is improving auditory perception. Dogs have amazing hearing that's much sharper than humans. They can detect sounds in the range up to 40,000 Hz, while humans hear at most up to 20,000. By tilting their head, a dog tries to better determine the source of sound and catch all the nuances of speech. Imagine you're trying to hear something very quiet or unclear. You'd involuntarily turn your head to hear better. Dogs do the same thing, except their auditory system is much more complex than ours. Interestingly, dogs' ears are positioned at some distance from each other, which allows them to precisely determine where sound is coming from. This evolutionary advantage helped their ancestors hunt and survive in the wild. Head tilting can help them even more accurately localize the source of sound and better understand the intonations of human speech, because for dogs, it's not so much the words that matter, but the tone in which they are spoken. The second reason is related to the peculiarities of canine vision. Unlike humans, dogs often have muzzles that protrude forward, creating a certain blind spot right in front of their muzzle. By tilting their head, a dog can get a better view of our face and read facial expressions, which helps them understand what we're feeling and what we want. This is especially important for breeds with long muzzles, such as collies or greyhounds. Research shows that dogs with flatter muzzles tilt their heads less often, which confirms this theory. Scientific observations demonstrate that dogs carefully monitor the expression of our eyes, lips, and other facial signals. They developed this ability during domestication, and now it helps them interact better with us. By tilting their head, they get a more complete picture of our emotional state. The third reason for head tilting may be related to information processing. When we pronounce words familiar to the dog, for example, walk, eat, or the pet's name, they tilt their head, trying to recognize and analyze these sounds. This is a kind of sign of concentration and attention. Think about how you yourself sometimes tilt your head when trying to understand something or figure out a complex situation. For dogs, such a pose can also be a sign of active mental work. Recent studies have shown that dogs can remember up to 200 different words and commands. When they hear a familiar word, certain neural connections activate in their brain. Head tilting may be an external manifestation of this brain activity, a kind of indicator that the dog is trying to match the sound with a meaning already known to them. The fourth reason may surprise many. Dogs tilt their heads because it works. They quickly learn that certain behavior causes a positive reaction in people. We find head tilting charming and usually respond to it with tenderness. We smile, praise the pet them, or give them treats. Dogs, being intelligent animals, quickly pick up on this connection and begin using head tilting as a way to attract our attention or cause a positive reaction. This phenomenon is called operant conditioning. The dog repeats behavior that brings them benefit. As a result, head tilting can become learned behavior that the pet uses to manipulate us, and we must admit it works perfectly. Who can resist a dog that looks at you with curiosity, tilting their head? The fifth reason for head tilting is related to empathy, the ability to empathize and understand the feelings of others. Dogs are among the few animals that demonstrate a high level of empathy toward humans. They can sense our mood and respond to it. Head tilting may be a manifestation of this empathy, a way to show that they're listening carefully and trying to understand what we're feeling. Research shows that during communication with humans, dogs experience increased levels of oxytocin, the hormone of attachment and trust. This same hormone is produced in us when we look into our pet's eyes. Perhaps head tilting is part of this chemical interaction that strengthens the bond between human and dog. The sixth reason may be related to dogs' origins. Their ancestors, wolves, communicate with each other through a complex system of sound and visual signals. Head tilting could have been part of this communicative repertoire that has been preserved in modern dogs. In a wolf pack, careful listening and observing pack mates has critical importance for survival, and head tilting could have been a way to show attention and submission. Interestingly, wolves also sometimes tilt their heads when communicating with each other, especially young individuals communicating with older pack members. This may indicate that this behavior has deep evolutionary roots and is connected to social structure and hierarchy in the group. The seventh reason for head tilting in dogs may be related to the peculiarities of their vestibular apparatus, the system responsible for the sense of balance and spatial orientation. By tilting their head, a dog may be correcting their perception of the surrounding world and better orienting themselves in the space of sounds. Dogs' vestibular apparatus is very sensitive, and any unusual sounds can cause them to want to change the position of their head to better understand what's happening. This is especially noticeable when a dog hears unfamiliar sounds or music with an unusual rhythm. They often tilt their heads, trying to figure out new sound patterns. The eighth reason for this behavior may be related to curiosity manifestation. Dogs are very curious creatures, and head tilting may be a sign of their interest in what's happening. When we speak to them in a new tone or use unfamiliar words, they try to understand what's happening, and head tilting is an external manifestation of this cognitive process. Observations show that dogs more often tilt their heads when they hear something new or unusual. This suggests that their brain is actively working, trying to classify and understand new information. Such behavior testifies to the high level of intelligence and adaptability of our four-legged friends. The ninth reason is a possible manifestation of emotional reaction. Dogs may tilt their heads when experiencing joy, interest, or even slight confusion. This is a kind of way to express their emotions, similar to how we might raise our eyebrows in surprise or smile with joy. The emotional world of dogs is much richer than previously thought. Modern research shows that they're capable of experiencing a wide spectrum of emotions, from basic ones like fear and joy to more complex ones like jealousy and empathy. Head tilting may be part of this emotional language through which dogs communicate with us. The 10th reason for head tilting may be related to the fact that it helps dogs better remember information. Research shows that dogs who tilt their heads while learning new commands often remember them better. Perhaps changing the position of the head somehow stimulates memory processes in the canine brain. Scientists suggest that head tilting may activate certain brain areas responsible for processing and storing information. This may explain why some dogs tend to tilt their heads precisely when we're trying to teach them something new or pronounce words important to them. It's worth noting that the frequency and intensity of head tilting can vary among different dog breeds. Some breeds, for example, border collies or poodles, known for their high intelligence, often demonstrate this behavior, while others do it less frequently. This may be related both to physiological features such as head shape and ear placement, and to cognitive abilities of different breeds. It's also interesting that individual characteristics of each dog play a significant role in how often they tilt their head. Some dogs do this constantly, while others do it only occasionally. This once again confirms that dogs, like people, have their unique character and behavioral patterns. Observations show that puppies begin tilting their heads at around 2 to 3 months of age when their basic communication skills are forming. This coincides with the socialization period when young dogs are actively learning to interact with the surrounding world. Perhaps head tilting is one of the first communication skills they master. It's important to remember that while head tilting is usually normal and even beneficial behavior, in some cases it may indicate health problems. If a dog constantly tilts their head to one side, even when no one is talking to them, or if this is accompanied by other symptoms such as loss of balance or nystagmus, which is eye twitching, this may indicate problems with the vestibular apparatus or neurological disorders. In such cases, it's necessary to consult a veterinarian. In conclusion, I'd like to note that head tilting in dogs is a multifaceted phenomenon that combines physiological, cognitive, emotional, and social aspects. This is one of many ways our four-legged friends try to understand us and interact with us. Next time your dog tilts their head while listening to you, remember that behind this cute gesture lies a complex thought process and a sincere desire to understand their human. This is another reminder of what amazing creatures dogs are and how deep the connection between us and them can be. I hope you enjoyed this dive into the world of canine behavior. If you have a dog, Tell us in the comments whether they tilt their head and in what situations this happens most often. Or maybe you've noticed some peculiarities of this behavior that we didn't mention. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss new interesting facts about our four-legged friends. In the next episode, we'll reveal another amazing secret from the world of domestic animals that will definitely surprise you. Until we meet again, take care of yourselves and your pets.